Welcome into the hot corner for a Must Be a Wednesday, baby, but it's always a Wednesday around here. Patrick Harris, Joe Fisher with you tonight.
Let's go, or should I say, let's mow.
Ooh, hey, what's up? Oh, is that what you're doing it for?
No, I did it literally just to F with my son when I was shaving on Saturday. First, it was the handlebar mustache, and then he was not okay with that. He's not okay with this either, but I figured this was a nice happy medium. And it had been about like a year and a half so. And then I just rocked it for USC. It was the USC stash. Because I went down there for the game on Saturday. I was like, let's just rock it for Saturday, rock a stash.
You have a good time?
Oh, yeah. Had a fantastic time.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Caleb looked good.
Caleb looked just
listen
fine.
to the boys in the morning. I mean,
I gave him a little hard time on the sidelines, and Lindell White was not happy with me.
Did you just pull out a bottle of tequila and you were like, hey, everything's cool,
I
baby?
did not know that was Lindell, and me and him had some words back and forth, which was pretty funny afterwards when I found out it was Lindell. But getting rave reviews about the mustache, so it stays until the lady friend says that she just can't handle it anymore.
That's good for you because
then it's gone.
That's good for you because about 4 weeks ago, I shaved mine off. And if you're a listener of this show, which there's like one or two of you out there,
Hey,
hi, Mom.
Hey, 3.
I shaved mine off 4 weeks ago to mess with the wife, and it backfired. I love that you're getting that medium Joe is getting a kick out of it, and you're getting a kick out of it as Joe 3. My wife was not happy, and the kids who have been clamoring for me to shave it because they wanted to see it, they were also not happy. So that backfired on me real hard. I'm glad to know that yours is going well. And if you tune in to the YouTube channel, /1080 AM The Fan, you will see that mine is coming back. I am working on it.
It's solid. Right now we're becoming 1080 the stash. Brandon Sprague has a little wispy thing going on right now.
Of course he has.
Not gonna lie, I think mine absolutely just dunks all over his.
I think Wispy Stash might be on his tombstone.
And then
and I love the guy. I absolutely love the
stash,
man.
Apostrophe stash.
Brandon Wispy Stash Sprague.
And then Dusty, he's kind of got this. It's more of a full, all over.
Well,
face,
if you're
right?
gonna sell ice, you gotta have a mustache.
It's a little. He's kind of has a little Pierre to it.
The Iceman. We let the Iceman do what he wants.
Stop.
We let him do what he wants.
I commend all of you. Are
you follically challenged on the
big
face?
fans of the Iceman on the hot corner? If you listen to over the years,
yeah, not on the face, but like overall, like as a beard. But yeah, with the mustache, it doesn't show up the same way. I don't know why.
Well, you don't want this life. As I tell Jason Sukanik with his bald head, and
easy on the bald. Tread lightly.
He walked into the bathroom one time and saw me like doing my hair in the mirror, and he's like, "Oh, okay." And I'm like, "Dude, you don't want to deal. You don't want this, okay? You don't want to deal with this life. I got a cowlick right here. You got to make it sway one way.
You're wrong.
All you got to do is just." Shave, done.
You were wrong, my friend.
You guys have it easy.
I have dreams, so when I had
no
hair,
social stigma about a bald head at all, right?
No, it's actually like trendy to be bald. But I'll tell you what, as a current bald man who has been bald for about 10 years now, I had a luscious head of hair. Fat, giant
You had
curls.
some curls, yeah, I was going to say.
Big
I've
curls.
seen the pictures.
I
knew you after the curls.
I was an actor and a musician at the time, so you have to know that plays very well. And I still have dreams about my long hair, and I'll tell you what, I would do anything for it. In fact, I have the mustache because it can prove that I can look good with hair that's grown because I have a side of my life that no longer grows it.
I could do this once.
Let me prove to you, if you like the stash, baby, buckle up. You would have loved the head.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
I'm sure they would have. I'm sure they
I'm already
Mark.
I'm already nervous, you guys, that I'm like widow's peaking it up on the top of my head. I don't think I'm gonna go bald, but
Well, the
I'm
YouTube
with Patrick
stream
on this.
will decide all. I mean, you've heard Andy Dirt Johnson, him basically come to the realization about his widow's peak live on air.
Well, his is actually
His ain't a widow's peak. That baby is like Peyton Manning receding.
No, this is like I can see my old hairline, and I'm to the point where you've got those like wispy long hairs, but it's just like 3 or 4 in a very blank area of skin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like, damn it, I'm getting older.
My wispies are above my lip, and I try to keep them tuned up, because the wife, she needs to be
She wants
taken care
that
of.
lip tickler intact.
She's
all
got to be
right?
taken care of, and she's
my-
a straight dime piece, so you got to do what you got to do.
My wife says no to the tickler. She doesn't. So even if I could grow one, she'd be like,
She says they nay.
I
beard, yes, mustache, no.
I shaved mine off, and the wife said, next time you want to make a decision like that, this is now a mutual choice.
This is
Yeah,
a
see.
team decision here.
Which
honey.
I responded with, my body, my right.
Yeah, hey,
My
listen,
body,
man.
my right.
It is your follicle choice. Yeah, I pulled a fast one on the lady friend. I basically just sent her the picture, and it was the shocked face emoji.
New,
I think
new
she's-
number, who dis?
Yeah, right. Block my number after that.
Like, hey, I've never.
If
talked
that
about
would have
it.
happened, then the mustache would have came off. If she would have like vocally been like, no, like
Yeah.
absolutely, but she has not done that. She's very sweet, so I understand if she is not going to just straight up. But I feel like if she was that adamant and vocal about it, then she would have said something by now.
Well, one thing I love
and
about
I look like a porn star, so I mean,
you got it in the sheets, you got it on the streets, man.
nah.
One thing I love about my wife is I'll finish this because I got a really actual serious question to ask you guys before we really dive into
Oh, God.
baseball.
What a transition
Um,
from porn stashes to whatever
I
we're gonna
had-
talk about.
All of my previous partners, I wanted to grow. Once I went bald, I wanted to grow a mustache, and my previous partners before my wife all kind of said, "You want to grow a mustache? That's great. I hope you like being celibate because that's your future."
Damn. Yeah.
So I never did.
See, yeah.
and
if I
then,
get that, it's like, all right,
right,
I'm not growing a
right. You get
mustache.
pushed into a corner. And then I went through a nasty breakup, and
Because of the stash?
No, without a stash. It just things happen.
The stash breakup.
in relationships.
We've all been there.
And I decided, you know what? She's gone. I'm on my own. I'm doing the stash. And when I met my wife, and
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Yeah, come after me. When we first started dating, I kind of said to her, "Hey, heads up, the stash is a part of my life, and I'm not getting rid of it." And she said, "Good, you better not, or I'll leave you."
And you
And that's
broke
when
into tears. You hugged
I
her.
said, "I love you," dropped to a knee, and that's how it went.
ran to the nearest quarter machine, grabbed out a ring, and said, "This is just a formality. I'm just
Bought a
putting this
lotto
on the-"
ticket, which didn't pay out.
No, they never do.
But I got a quick question to ask you because I know we're already up against it because we always are. But I got a quick question to ask you guys that's
Classic.
not baseball related.
Oh,
And people have been talking about this because things aren't going so well.
Lay it on me.
But I've got a real honest question. So you guys know where I went to college, right?
I knew this is where it was going.
Are,
You
are
guys-
you a Coug?
you guys
by
know I went to
chance?
Wazoo.
You're
Yes.
I went to
Yeah.
Wazoo Pullman.
Quite familiar.
Same college as the Idaho Killer, Brian Koberger. But that's another.
I
topic.
was born on the exact
Shots fired.
I was born on the exact same day
As
on the
him?
exact same year as Alex Brink.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Friend
right.
of the station, not
Friend of the station. I've
You know
called
what?
him
Screw
many
it. I'm
times.
claiming program.
Yeah.
the program.
I've called him many times. Wonderful human being. Love Alex. Is Wazoo the worst team in the Pac-12?
We're about to find out Friday night, my friend.
I don't know. Even if we beat Colorado,
Colorado.
because I'm gonna tell you this: we've lost to Arizona,
Ooh.
Arizona State, Stanford, and Cal.
Well, Arizona's good this year. I mean,
Well, they came around second half of the season.
they still have a chance.
They put that kid in at quarterback, and they're good.
They have a chance at the
Fafiti, yeah.
Pac-12 going to the Pac-12 championship game.
No,
still.
shut up. No, they're not.
Statistically,
Okay, I don't care. But we lost to Stanford 10-7 with a 7-0 halftime lead.
oh, it's been atrocious.
The Cal game, we cooked it, which I'll give that. I'm asking you guys a serious question
Yeah.
right now because let me tell you what I think. I think Wazoo is the worst team in the Pac-12.
I'm giving that to Stanford.
They beat us.
Yeah, but not because they're a better team.
No, yeah, that's the problem. See,
Yeah.
Suk was kind of having this argument yesterday about, like saying the Ducks are better than the Huskies right now. And it's like,
I think
yeah,
they are.
yeah, but the Huskies are still better than the Ducks because they beat them.
Fair.
So therefore, me saying like, well, I think Stanford's better
Fair.
is
But
worse. It's like, well, no, they're not because they played and Stanford won that game.
But I
so-
think that works when you're in the upper echelon. I don't think that translates when you're in the lower echelon.
I would still say
If Vanderbilt beats Kentucky, then Kentucky's like, oh God, what are we doing?
I hate to
What are we doing?
I hate to pull the whole if they played that game 10 times, but I feel Washington State should win that game probably 6 to 7 times.
I think we should win 9 out of 10.
You like I said, I'd give you 6 to 7.
And
Enough.
And I'm offended.
Yeah. Just
And I'm
enough,
offended,
yeah.
even though I agree with you.
Yeah. I don't know. It's tough, man.
I think my Cougs are the worst team in the conference.
There, like maybe during the dog days when we're talking about college football, NFL, when we get back from Thanksgiving, we do a sort of Pac-12 like award show. Maybe I save it for football Sunday. I don't know. But
I'll guest. I'll come down and I'll guest.
But
with
if
you.
there's an award for most disappointing season,
It's
of
gotta be
the
up. I mean,
Pac-12,
it's not even close.
Washington State.
I'll tell you
Really?
what, we are hella good.
As far
at
as like
being disappointing.
expectations and everything,
We are
goes,
better than everyone in this conference about being disappointing.
Who-
No one will take that from us.
I don't know.
You put USC up there?
Guys, I would throw Colorado in as the worst
Oh,
team.
boy.
They have been absolute
They would-
ass during conference play.
They've been cheeks.
and the only
Until they
reason
beat us 35-7
the only but
in Pullman
yes, but you can still
on a Friday
score.
night.
You can still score against defenses.
Since when? We lost to Stanford 10-7.
I'm not
What
talking
did Oregon State beat them?
Well, you're
63 to
you're not
5?
you're not the best team, so yeah, you're inconsistent, which means you're bad. But you're not the worst team in the Pac-12, dude. The
put up points
expectations,
against the Ducks.
the expectations
First
for
half looked
Colorado.
nice. First half looked nice.
They have a two-way player in Travis Hunter. They've got stud transfers that were supposed to come in at the skill positions, and Shedeur Sanders, who's supposed to be one of the top 6 quarterbacks in the conference.
Yeah, they're
Nope.
better than us. They're better than
No,
us.
I would.
Well, again,
vehemently
we're
disagree.
literally about
We're
to
going to lose
find out who it
35-10.
is. I would say that at this point in time, because we still have 2 weeks of Pac-12 football,
We are proving Pat McAfee right.
that Colorado
jerk.
would be most overhyped team, but
Sure.
most disappointing team would be Washington State or USC to me. Because Colorado, again, they were just overhyped. They were a 1-win team everywhere. Everywhere over here, west of the Rockies, knew that Colorado was not as good as everyone thought they were.
What
gonna
happens if
be.
they beat us 35-10?
Well, then, yeah, I mean, Washington State is definitely the worst.
Okay,
Like,
so I'm
I
just
mean,
precursoring this.
yes, for
Okay,
sure.
all right.
I think
Buckle
they
up, my friend.
I think they have had the most disappointing.
I'll be in
season
my house.
already,
I'll be in my
but-
house on Friday, just waiting.
But yeah, if Washington State gets them on Friday, Schultze, I might be leaning more towards the Colorado like USC side of things.
I mean, did
Well,
they
and-
not slam Colorado State early in the season? I know Colorado State sucks.
Yeah,
but
we blew them out.
yeah, but they beat Oregon State in September as well. Like
Yeah,
they're
the 10th
not
team in the country.
terrible. Okay,
Pac-2 champs.
I like Cam Rising.
We're
That's
tough.
good.
Or excuse me, Cam Ward. Freudian slip. I like Cam Ward.
Yeah.
He's an NFL style
You
quarterback.
know how I know you? You know how I know you like Cam Ward? Because you don't watch Wazoo games.
he
That's how I
throws
know.
for like 300 plus yards.
Stop.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's,
he also throws picks and fumbles the ball.
But that's not his fault. They have
That's
no
definitely
running
his
game.
fault.
No,
He's holding the ball.
no, because they have
He's
no
holding the
running game.
ball and it falls out of his hand. That's his fault.
Their slant passes, their 5-yard slants are runs.
You did this.
Joe's hitting me with the
You
clock.
did. That's you that did
I know
this.
it's me. I know it's me.
This whole segment.
I know it's
You
me.
literally said at 8:10, I know we're up against it.
But I'm gonna completely derail this. Yeah. Go Cougs. Guess what? Win or lose, we suck. And I'm still gonna get
That's
wasted.
what I say about that.
I'm still gonna get wasted.
I have
So-
the power of the drops over here.
All right.
now.
Well, I just want to let you know we are off next week. When we come back in 2 weeks, don't be shocked if we lose to Colorado. You all decide that we're the worst team in the Pac-12 and we beat UW because that's how things work. That's how things work. We're gonna beat UW.
I would fancy that.
We're gonna beat UW.
I would like that a lot.
We're gonna lose to Colorado, and we're gonna beat UW,
Okay.
and we're not gonna make a bowl game.
We need a break.
All right, Joe says we get out of here. Oakley dokley. Well, we got a show for you tonight.
I can't believe you went on a Coug tangent that long.
I have to, man. I'm on by myself.
With the season that
I'm
they've
on an
been having.
island.
Unbelievable.
This isn't Revis Island.
unbelievable.
I think your team's better than you do.
That's because you guys don't watch my team. And you can't deny that you don't watch Wazoo games.
I have seen,
Wazoo, Arizona, Wazoo, Stanford. You tuning in? Pac-12 After Dark, you tuning in?
What was
Anybody know the final score of that game? Because I do.
What was in last week, the week before? Yeah, the Stanford game, 10-7. I did watch that one, actually. That was brutal.
You're a savage human being.
Oh, I was.
That is some of the worst sports you could watch.
I was going
on
in
planet Earth,
between-
and that includes the Blazers tonight.
Well, that was going in between the Oregon State game as well.
Okay, God, we're 2
Oh,
minutes
because they're
further
blown
into
it.
this.
All right.
We
God.
really have to break.
This is you. All right, I'm out of here. Oakley Doakley. Well, we got a baseball show for you tonight. Awards being handed out left and right. It's a lot of unanimous. We'll see how we go. And Shohei is Shohei. Plus, is Major League Baseball doing more things to hate Major League Baseball, or are they actually on a streak here? We got a lot to get to, plus fair or foul at the bottom of the 9 o'clock hour. We come back. Let's start with a little awards. Let's give some love for some guys that deserve some awards. This is the Hot Corner today, the Fan.
The Portland
503-864-6326. That is the Vancouver Ford text line. They treat you right before, during, and after the sale. Your dollar goes further. Visit VancouverFord.com.
I was going to ask you if they treated you right after the sale, but you went and said it.
You already know they do. I had a 2022 Ford Bronco Sport, and I love it. She's my baby. She is my baby. Well, this is one of the fun times. They wait till after the World Series is over to announce.
Which good. Every sport should just wait until after the season. I don't know what. I think it's NBA or NFL. I don't know. I think NFL does it like the night or
They
2
do,
days
yeah.
before.
The Super Bowl, I think, is what they do it.
And it's just,
They try to like wrap it into Super Bowl week. Major League Baseball has always been notorious for, during the playoffs, do not do anything that takes away from our playoff matchups. I remember when Alex Rodriguez was traded from Texas at first to Boston, but then that was scrapped and he went to New York. That was during the World Series, and Major League Baseball was furious about it.
Didn't he try to opt out too? Like he did this
Mhm.
twice.
It
Like,
was a huge story, and nobody remembers in 2004 or 2003, excuse me, the World Series, because it was a crappy World Series between Chicago and Houston, and Alex Rodriguez dominated the headlines. So they try to wait to put out these until after the season, which makes sense to me.
That's probably smart. Yeah, and then the NBA is pretty close to the finals or conference finals or something like that
Yep.
too. And it's just like either do it before the season,
I
or
would
not before the season, before the playoffs start.
I would love it if last day of the season, once all the games are over,
It's
they
like,
just
boom,
announce it.
Give us votes.
Just
bam,
announce it.
You got 24, 8 hours, whatever. Yeah, I mean, and by that point in the season, you usually already know.
Because we can go through this and you can look at it and say, you know, Corbin Carroll wins the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah,
And you're like, that's
sewed
dope.
up
He was in
in
the World
July.
Series. Yeah, he was in the World Series. That's awesome. But then you say Gunnar Henderson wins it for the American League. You're like, who? Oh, because we already watched that team get eliminated. But if you do it right before the playoffs start, you're like, oh, maybe I should watch this Baltimore-Tampa series.
Yeah, oh yeah,
to
I
see
heard
this
about
Gunnar
this Gunnar
Henderson
Henderson.
kid.
He's the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I think
And I
that'd be great.
understand that you can say in the broadcast potential Rookie of the Year, you know, his odds in DraftKings or whatever the hell you want to do. But yeah, no, I would just like it preferably not during the playoffs or before the
yeah,
playoffs.
I think as long as you do it before and then you do like the postseason awards right after, that's a good separation. You know, there's really no AL MVP sneaking in, just winning the World Series MVP because he was the AL MVP, which voters I'm
Right, if
sorry,
you did it now, Corey Seager's the AL MVP.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's that potential for getting your brain all mishmashed trying to vote for these awards.
It's like Conn Smythe in
Conn-
hockey.
Who is that and why?
Conn Smythe is the MVP of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
The fact that you know
It
that
doesn't always go to the best player on the team that wins.
okay,
It
thank you.
goes. There'll be the Stanley Cup Finals, and Team A will lose to Team B, and the Conn Smythe will go to
Somebody from
the
the second
goalie
round.
from the team that lost.
Oh, okay.
It's those glasses. That's how you're so smart tonight.
No, I
With this
just like to
hockey knowledge.
see. I just want to be able to see things.
I took my contacts out. My eyes were drier than a mother.
What's interesting about the awards this year is everything is pretty straightforward across the board. And MVPs will be announced tomorrow, and I think we can all assume that Shohei Ohtani from the Angels will win the American League MVP, and Ronald Acuna Jr. will win the MVP in the National League, and they will both be unanimous, which will be
You think
the
so?
I do, which will be the trend of this year because Cy Youngs, both in the American and National League, were unanimous. Rookies were
I
unanimous.
don't know if Cy Young National League was unanimous.
Oh, I haven't seen that, but I
don't-
saw
eh,
American
I-
League was.
I saw that Garrett Cole was unanimous. He got all 30. But Blake Snell was not unanimous.
So let's see. Oh, you are correct. Logan Webb and Zach Gallen each snagged first place votes, and Snell took the rest. But in the American League, and we'll start there with Garrett Cole, he is a unanimous American League Cy Young winner. That is his second Cy Young, I believe.
Cole?
Yeah,
It's his first.
his first.
But it's second for Snell.
Well, I know, and I want to get into Snell in a moment.
Yeah.
And Joe, you've been giving me razz about this because I've been kind of a little anti Garrett Cole
You
on
don't
this
like
Cy
Garrett Cole.
Young. I thought there was a lot of guys that kind of led this race throughout the year, and I hate when guys sneak in the end and get it, especially for teams that don't matter. Sup, Yankees? Yeah, you don't matter.
Yeah, coincidentally, both these awards going to teams not in the playoffs.
Yeah. And I really loved what Sonny Gray did this year. I really loved what Luis Castillo did this year. I think he kind of got shorted when you look at the
Do
votes.
you think a Twins pitcher is ever going to win a Cy Young, though? The voters just
Yeah,
don't.
Johan Santana.
Since then? But no, I'm not saying like they haven't ever won it, but I'm talking about in 2023. It's just if you're a great pitcher, but not like the elite on a team like the Minnesota Twins, like the Oakland A's, people forget about you.
I don't think it matters.
Yeah,
what
I know
team
what you're
you're
saying,
on.
but I don't think so. Yeah, I'm with
Okay.
Joe on this.
I mean, Alcantara was dominant last year.
and Miami was garbage.
Doesn't matter what jersey he's wearing. He's winning that Cy Young.
Well,
Yeah.
but you have to be dominant.
But I'm just-
it can't be a toss up.
You're talking if it's a tight race.
Yeah, that's what I'm
They're
saying.
going to lean towards a Yankee over a
Usually,
Twin.
an LA guy, a Texas guy,
Yeah,
somebody
I-
that's
I could
easier
understand that. But Joe, you've been banging on this because I've been kind of on the anti-Cole
Dude,
train.
I mean, I wish we had a way to type into our library, our system, like words said by person, because you do not like Garrett Cole, and you did not think.
I don't. I think his
Well, it's
stuff
not so
is
much-
great. I don't love him as a player.
It's not so much. I don't think you thought he was going to have a good season. You just didn't want him to have. A
No, of
good
course I don't.
season. And you just had a feeling that he was going to, and sure enough, he was dominant this year. But I mean, if there is, like you said, the positive, the Yankees sucked. So
Yeah, and I think when you go back and you look at his stats, yeah,
hell, he could have won a Cy Young and an MVP, Patrick.
no, he's not Verlander, who's the only one I've seen in my days. Even though somehow Pedro Martinez just walked through the world without an MVP, paging Greg Maddux.
All
as
right,
well.
you already had your Wazoo rant. We don't need your.
I
Pedro
know.
rant.
So Garrett Cole's the American League Cy Young winner, and that's great. And the Yankees are getting their value for him, and he will be the preseason favorite to win it again in the American League.
And might I say, his wife, very educated.
Dime.
Very educated. I'm
Hot dime.
sure is a nice lady, cooks a great meal, is a loving mother, and
Also a fantastic driver on the road.
just a great citizen overall. Really,
Yeah.
just hits all the parameters. Green flag, green flag, green flag.
Yeah.
And an absolute
So
smoke show.
So congrats to Garrett Cole. But I think the real story is when you slide into the National League as
Do you smell what the Blake is cooking?
well, I think there's a lot of people that don't want to give this guy some credit, and I think we got to stop for a moment, and that's where I want to go next. When we come back, let's get into this. Blake Snell wins the National League Cy Young, and are we missing something with Blake Snell? We'll get to that next, but first, Schultze with sports.
Now, from the Spirit Mountain Casino Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
This update brought to you by Toro Mexican Kitchen. Transport yourself to Baja, Mexico with delicious regional dishes and cocktails. Book your table today at toropdx.com. First on the Fan breaking tonight, ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reporting that the NBA is suspending Warriors forward Draymond Green for 5 games after he put Timberwolves center Rudy Gobert into a chokehold during a brawl in last night's Warriors v. Timberwolves game. Klay Thompson also being fined $25,000. Elsewhere, after losing last night in Salt Lake City, the Portland Trailblazers right back on the floor. They're actually hosting the Cleveland Cavaliers right now, about 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Cleveland does lead 60-53. So far, Jeremy Grant and Shaden Sharp leading the way for your Blazers with 11 each. And in baseball, big news, a couple of awards given out today. Blake Snell was a Padres pitcher, now a free agent. He has won the NL Cy Young, while Yankees pitcher Garrett Cole unanimously winning the AL Cy Young Award. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schultze from the Spirit Mountain Casino Sports Desk. Watch and wager on pro and college football from across the country at Spirit Mountain Casino. Learn more at spiritmountain.com.
Do it every morning. Dirt and Spray. Weekdays 6 to 9 a.m.
Coming up in the 9 o'clock hour, baseball trying to ride a high, or are they pushing it too far? We'll get to that. Plus, fair or foul at the bottom of the hour.
Are they just trying to have a little fun, or are they under the Fremont Bridge getting some things that they shouldn't?
That will be a discussion.
What?
Well,
Because sometimes those things you get under the Fremont Bridge can be a lot of fun.
Well, and sometimes those things that you get for fun can end up with some things that you end up with under the Fremont Bridge.
And then before
you
you
told me
know
about
it-
what happened at Dave, dude.
Yeah, before you know it, man, you're passed out in the middle of the stone.
I think you're
and-
smoking a J, and then that J has a little bit of F in it.
And then you get an IV, and I'm always jealous of those people that get an IV because I would
What?
love an IV.
Why
right
would
now.
you want to be in that situation?
No, I don't want to be in this
Like a-
situation. I just want an IV. Like, can you get my body back to regular
It'd
standpoint?
be cool if you needed it for a sports situation.
You know,
like
yeah.
I'm balling out right now. Get me on the bench for 2 minutes. Get me some IV juices.
I've got the last stage of the
refuel
Tour de
me.
France. Can you please give me some more white blood cells?
I'll take it in that sense, not the I'm on the verge of death. Like
because
sense.
of fentanyl. Yeah,
Yeah, no.
I know there's a company that they do come to you and bring, like hydration IVs, but
I
nothing,
know people that do that.
No, like white blood cell, like or
Plasma?
EPO
Sorry.
switching.
I do have to preface.
God.
I know people that administer the IVs. I do not know people that get them because those people are above my pay grade.
You're not that cool.
Yeah, I'm not that.
Not
cool.
that plugged in.
I'm not that.
You're only connected to the corner dealer. God.
Again, under the Fremont Bridge kind of folk. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I work here. All right, sticking with the sticking with the Cy Young Awards and just kind of
What's
awards
that
in
baggie over there, by the way?
general. Don't you worry
Anyways,
about that, Joe.
Continue.
You know I share.
Change those
I always
cameras.
share. Switching over to the National League in the Cy Young, Blake Snell becomes the 7th pitcher of all time to win multiple Cy Youngs in different leagues.
Do we have that list also? Like, we don't have to dive into it, but I do want to dive into it at some point. I just want to figure out
of the
who-
guys that have done it?
Yeah, the
We'll
se-
talk for a minute.
Well, I got this great Ducks Avalanche game here.
Stop talking about the Ducks. Nobody cares.
Oh God, I'm squinting. It's 8-2 in the third period. Avalanche are leading. Okay, maybe not great.
Okay, I've got the list.
Certainly a hockey game. that's
Thanks,
for
Joe.
sure. All
Thanks, Joe. That was worthless. Blake Snell won the NL Cy Young this year. Almost unanimously missed 2 first place votes as Zach Gallen and Logan Webb, who I love Logan Webb. I'm a big Logan Webb.
Okay, respectable.
Wins the Cy Young. He also won it in 2018 with the Tampa Bay Rays. I have been very high on Blake Snell. If you listen to this show over the years, you know that I am one of the apologists of Kevin Cash leaving him in that World Series game. That controversial decision that a lot of people think cost Tampa that World Series.
Shouldn't have pulled him.
I believe he should have left him in. I thought Snell was dealing. He just got. Other people on this list are Max Scherzer with the Tigers in 13 and the Nats in 16. Roy Halladay, Doc Halladay. By the way, Max Scherzer, a future Hall of Famer. Roy Halladay with the Blue Jays in 03 and the Phillies in 10, a current Hall of Famer.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Verlander.
Roger Clemens with the Red Sox in 86 and the Astros in 04. That's steroids, so
I'm sorry.
he doesn't count.
This is interleague.
This is both leagues.
Yeah. So Verlander, he's only
been in the
Houston,
American
yeah.
League,
My-
except for the Mets this year for a short stint.
Right.
Randy Johnson, the 95 Cy Young winner in Seattle and the 99 Cy Young winner in Arizona.
Didn't he win like 3 in a row?
He did, yes, but these are like the first ones.
Of course, I'm just trying to add. Hey, Randy was damn.
Yeah, Randy, also a Hall of Famer.
Oh, dude, I saw some stats either today or last week about like his 3-year stretch from 99 to 01 or 99 to 02.
I think
one
it's
or
90. I think it's like 95
It was-
to 03
yeah.
is stupid.
Yeah, stupid numbers.
Pedro Martinez, the 97 Cy Young winner for Montreal, 2 years later wins it in the American League for Boston And if you look at his Montreal stats, they're actually sexier than the Red Sox
And-
stats, where a lot of people argue 99 Pedro is like 68 Gibson, 60 Koufax, like stuff where you can't touch the guy.
Legendary.
And Pedro was so good, even as a rookie. He was like, I think he had like a 2-point-something ERA in relief. But Tommy Lasorda hated him so much because he was so small, didn't think he was going to amount to anything. Traded him to Montreal. So
Yeah,
just
and-
wanted a little history lesson on Pedro.
Pedro might be the best pitcher I ever saw in my life. And the 6th, or the 7th, if you include Snell, would be Gaylord Perry. 72 won the Cy Young for the Cleveland Indians. And then again in 78 for the San Diego Padres.
Happened to be a Mariner when he won his 300th game.
And what's interesting, I think what's the most interesting about Blake Snell winning this award, which I think he deserved it. I think he was the best pitcher in the National League, despite San Diego being an absolute dumpster fire. He is the top pitcher in the free agent market.
yes.
The guy's a 2-time Cy Young winner. Now, you got to be weary of like a 5-6 year deal for him. You definitely don't want a Garrett Cole deal. Cole won a Cy Young, and that's great for you, but what's that going to look like in 5 years? You don't want that. But if you can snag Blake Snell on a 4-year deal for, say, you're the Cubs who are trying to compete, say you're the Mariners trying to compete, say you're the Giants who are looking to spend a
Say
ton
you're
of
the
money
Padres
in the
trying to
offseason.
compete. Oh, not anymore, probably.
Snell might be worth your money.
And I don't
I
mean
think
that
he-
as dark humor.
I know.
They just need some money.
Snell might be a really great fit for you.
It is worth pointing out, though. You talk about Snell not getting a Garrett Cole-like contract. Yeah, guess who is both of their agents? Garrett Cole's and Blake Snell's.
I'm gonna go
Just
with
take a guess.
I'm gonna
Rich
go with
Paul.
the only agent
Scott
I
Boras.
know in baseball that would be Michael Jordan's dad.
There you go. No.
R.I.P..
No. It was Scott Boras, actually.
Yeah.
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
And
Rich
Scott-
Paul. I did like the Rich Paul call. I would have said Rich Paul,
That
Joe,
would have been
but
a
you
good
beat
one.
me to it.
No, and obviously Boris, with the Yankees, got that bag. Snell, I'm sorry, I know that you don't think he should be getting it, Patrick, but he is going to be getting like $400 million.
You think he's gonna get like an 8-year,
400.
an 8-year, $32 million deal?
I think it could be close to that. With Scott Boras as your agent, he will bilk. He will make some team feel guilty enough into signing him for a $30+ million salary. Yes, absolutely.
Oh boy, I want Blake Snell for the next 3 years without a doubt. I think he's a top 5 pitcher in Major League Baseball. I've loved this kid since he came up from Tampa. I had him on a fantasy team, and I lost him because of, I think he got hurt.
So would you pay for 6 years to get 3? To get
I
those
paid
3?
for 6 to get 3.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay 10 to get 4
Okay.
like
So,
Garrett Cole.
Just to give you some standards of the longest, biggest contracts, the girthiest contracts,
Joe,
you
did
could
you
say.
used to be a producer?
What?
You're really good at this stuff.
Me?
Shout out.
I'd press-
Continue.
I press some buttons in my day.
Continue.
Joe talking
Um,
about the girthy thickness over there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do. If anybody, okay, I'm moving on. Jose Barrios,
Wow.
7 years, which that's not looking too great. Steven Strasburg, 7 years, which that's not
I mean,
looking
effectively dead.
even better.
R.I.P. Strasburg.
But then you start to get into some current players: Spencer Strider, Hunter Green, Carlos Rodon, who just signed that deal. Yu Darvish, who just signed that deal. Patrick Corbin, all 6 years.
Boy, that's the worst contract.
The
currently in
Corbin
baseball.
one,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
pretty rough. Green solid if he can improve. Strider, that's a great deal. Knowing the Braves, I'm sure the money on that's low.
Yeah, the money's great.
And then guys with like 5 years, you're looking at Chris Sale, yikes. Kyle Freeland, Antonio Sanzatella for the Rockies, McCullers, Christian Javier, Alcantara, Freddie Peralta. So I mean, Blake Snell, yeah, he's a 2-time winner. He's probably going to be in that somewhere that 5 to 8 year range.
Yeah.
I imagine someone's going to want to lock him up for that amount of time.
I see $30 million easy for him because Clayton got 35.
Right.
And yeah.
I think
it's not even a competition between those two right now.
I think the question for Snell is just how many years. Because I'll tell you what, for the next 3 years, I'd love Blake Snell on my team.
Me too, and that's why I would stay closer to the 5 year range.
And that's what blows my mind. Had the blowback from that World Series not happened, Blake Snell is in year 4 of a Garrett Cole contract
Yeah.
with somebody else.
Do you
Well,
see where he prefers to sign?
I did see where he prefers
It's not
to
going to
sign.
happen, but
It's
I do
not going to
love it.
happen because they don't need him
No, they
unless they do it to
I did not
flip some
see.
guys. Blake Snell has come out on the record saying his
Orioles, yeah, makes sense.
his team
Yeah.
of preference is the Seattle Mariners.
What?
He
Yeah.
came out and said that live on the
I'm
record.
telling you, the seafood is much more superior in the Chesapeake than the Puget Sound.
And I'll
okay?
tell you what,
He didn't grow up rooting for him,
it,
though.
it creates a very interesting situation for DePoto. Do you go get Snell in a 4-year deal at $32 million a year and then trade a Gilbert, a Robbie Ray to go get a Soto or a fill in the blank? That's where that becomes very interesting, and that's where I'll watch. But I am fascinated. I think Blake Snell and Cody Bellinger are my 2 most fascinating free agents about where they sound. And that's nothing to do with the Mariners. That's just I'm fascinated where these guys sign.
I'll say one team to watch for Blake Snell, I believe, San Francisco Giants.
Agreed.
That is a
Yeah.
interdivision
Agreed.
team.
I think they're ready to spend money.
They're ready to spend money. It was
They tried with Correa. They tried with Bryant.
It was John Heyman. Take that with a grain of
Take that.
salt.
Yeah,
but he
very
said
much.
that the Giants are in on everything
Yep.
right now. And that is a interdivision team that if you see the Padres right now, unfortunately, they're in a bad spot right now. I know
Mhm.
their owner just died, but even before that news today, they had a big cash flow problem.
Yep.
To the point where they got to get rid of dudes. That team has got to. It's gonna have to go into basically a downward spiral for a bit. And if you're in that same division and you're ready to pounce, take one of their best players. Take the guy who just won the Cy Young.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the Giants throughout the next few weeks and what they do. But I mean, there's talk about Chapman is very interested in going to play for Melvin again. And what does Bob Melvin do for you in San Francisco? Can Blake Snell look around and say, "Hey, I like that guy. I want to be around that guy, even though I had a bunch of D-bags on my team that didn't like him. I want to go back to that." So that'll be very interesting. Blake Snell, Cody Bellinger, for me, for my money, those are the guys that I think are really going to set the trend for the free agent market. All right, when we come back, let's wrap up these awards and talk about some guys that actually deserve some praise as well. This is the Hot Corner, Tony the Fan.
Leif's has been Portland's #1 choice for decades. Why?
Bottom of it. Plus, I want to talk about is Major League Baseball double downing, or is this an actual good idea?
Ooh, Double Down from KFC. You ever had one of those?
No, I can't. I can't eat a sandwich that doesn't have bread.
What are you talking about? There's breading on the chicken.
Yeah, that's my point.
That is the point. That's
with
the bread.
bacon and cheese in the middle. Yeah, I know. I don't know if I can do that.
Have you ever seen the Double Down dog?
What, they just put it in a hot dog bun?
Well, the bun is the chicken breast, and
then they put a hot dog in the middle?
Yeah, I don't.
What kind of dog? Like a Costco dog or like a
like a KFC hot dog.
Yeah,
so I can't imagine
yeah,
it's.
something that's vegetarian?
I don't think it's a Nathan's. They're throwing
Yeah,
in
a
there.
meat
Yeah.
hot dog that's actually vegetarian.
There was a during the World Series, there was a massive, I believe it was like a burger or a selection of sandwiches, but more importantly, like a big hot dog for God, it was like near $100, and they would give you different chunks of meat. And it's nice that we're now
You
in
just
the-
share your meats with your friends then.
you can touch it together. You can do whatever you want.
Exactly.
There's many different options. It's just nice in the world of 2023 that you can get gourmet hot dogs at baseball games now. I do like that.
I want to chat about this real quick, and we got to be quick about it. Rookie of the Year awards,
No.
Manager of the Year awards.
We're gonna talk about Wazoo after it.
They're all unanimous votes. Gunnar Henderson, Rookie of the Year in the American League. Corbin Carroll,
He wasn't
Rookie.
unanimous.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know. What stats are you? Maybe I'm wrong. What peyote have I been smoking lately?
I mean, I could be smoking peyote. I love peyote.
Let me check my sources.
Ayahuasca? Like,
I did.
you guys dabble in this
Where do
stuff?
you-
I mean,
where do you even get that?
I have
like
done-
Rogers is a nutcase, but he's not wrong about drugs.
I mean, I'm Native American, so I thought, all right, I have
That's
to do
where
peyote
you get
once.
peyote.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know.
No, I
Schultz, he's
have
got
to
the.
I
do
know
it.
about ayahuasca because I'm 132nd Cherokee.
Atta
Anyways,
baby.
I digress. I'll check my sources.
I'm 1/8. So there you go.
Gunnar Henderson, Rookie of the Year in the American League. Corbin Carroll, Rookie of the Year in the National League. Brandon Hyde, Manager of the Year in the American League.
Wow, a lot of
Skip
Orioles. Weird.
Schumacher, Manager of the Year in the National League. Deserved because Miami had no business being as good as they were. I got actually something that really intrigues me, and it's in the Gold Glove Awards.
Oh God, what?
It's the
Not enough Orioles. I know.
It's the Platinum Glove in the National League. The Platinum Glove in the National League, which is so you get, Moreno, Walker, Horner, Hayes, Swanson, Happ, Doyle, Tatis, Wheeler, Kim. Those guys are all the Gold Glove winners for the National League.
By the way, I was right. Gunnar Henderson was unanimous. I told you so.
Yeah, you're right. Good job, Joe.
Yeah, told you, dude.
Crack journalism.
Yep.
You get a Platinum Glove if you are the best of every winner. Nolan Arenado's got himself like 4 of them, which is why he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. The Platinum Gold Glove winner in the National League is Fernando Tatis in right field. And for a guy who likes to pump things into his arm, much like under the Fremont Bridge,
He pumped some juice into that right field. That's for sure.
I do think it's very intriguing from a baseball standpoint. If you cut out all the noise about the Padres being terrible, about his steroid suspension and stuff like that, the fact that Fernando Tatis moved from shortstop to right field and not only won a Gold Glove, but won a Platinum Glove, I got to give the kid a little credit. I'll never really respect him because he's a juicer, but it's kind of like Bryce going from right to first. You just don't see guys that make the kind of money like Bryce and Tatis make willingly change positions to, in theory, a position of less magnitude, especially shortstop to right field, and be so good at it that you are considered the best fielder in baseball. Not the best right fielder, but the best defensive player in baseball. It's impressive to me what Tatis did this year.
100%, dude. That was an eye-opening notification over the last couple days.
You're kind of like, are you kidding me?
I was just like,
Who do you
damn, dude.
pay
I was
for
like,
this? Like, his old man doesn't have that much clout.
let's be real. We love baseball, but there's a lot of great players. There's a lot of games. There's
Totally.
a lot of highlights, a lot of web gems throughout the year. So trying to keep in track of who really is.
you got a fly ball pitcher, you got a ground ball pitcher. Do they do shifts, et cetera, et cetera?
I mean, Kevin Kiermaier is one of the best outfielders I've ever seen in my life. You know,
Totally.
he won another Gold Glove.
Right.
Like,
And he doesn't even play every day.
Slight correction, 6 platinum gloves for Nolan, by the way.
Thank you. Appreciate
6.
that.
so
That's a first ballot Hall of Fame.
Wow.
So but to go from one position that is completely different to another, and I mean,
Yeah, and I think
say what that, I mean, not only just a mental mindset of like that does something to a player when they say we'd rather have this dude play this position.
and guys,
And
we
sorry, I was just gonna say whether it's like he looks at it that way or takes it, no, they trust me to play this position because they need me to do this for the team, and that's how he took it. He could have been slacking. He could have been not ready. He could have been pouting. He could have been upset, and then he's not ready for a fly ball,
how I thought Bryce might be at first.
and he wasn't. I mean, like. And quite frankly, even if he had moments like that, he's probably just so damn good he would have made up for it anyways. But
And-
he was a baller this year out in right
And-
field.
and
Made
I
some
think-
great plays.
And I think what's wild is for us in our age ranges, as we differ but are generally around the same age era, shortstop, guys, we all grew up with shortstop being the sexy position.
And
We will sit on our porches at 80 years old and talk about how Alex should have played short and Jeter should have moved over. We're going to talk about because we grew up in a time period where shortstops were the sexiest, the flashiest, the position to play. And that guy moved to, when I was a kid playing baseball, the guy in right field, which was usually me, was the worst player
The
on
best
the team.
player.
And they were right.
Don't do that to
I was
yourself.
the worst player on my team, and I played right field.
Don't
Well,
do
there-
that to yourself.
when you talk about
There's
shortstops,
also no switch hitters when you're 12.
you're not wrong. There's the shortstops are always the most athletic guy on the field, right?
Right.
And it's not like you're throwing your shortstop with maybe a subpar arm in Fernando Tatis Jr. No, he's got an amazing arm. He could probably be a pitcher if he wanted to, goodness gracious. But it's not like you're throwing a guy like Dustin Ackley from second base into left field just so you can keep his bat in the lineup. Fernando Tatis Jr. is amongst this group, I would say, like Ellie De La Cruz, like O'Neal Cruz for the Pittsburgh Pirates. These super stud athletic shortstops, kind of like Alex Rodriguez. At the time, I think Alex could have played at any position on the field and been super successful.
I mean,
honestly.
I think there's an argument to be made that Alex is the greatest athlete we've ever seen play baseball.
Yeah, I've made the point on the show before several times. I think he leads both third basemen and shortstops all time separately with his career in WAR over everybody else. Cal Ripken and Derek Jeter and everybody. He is the one at 2 different positions. So you look at Fernando Tatis Jr., it's the athleticism. Yeah, there's trust there, but we're talking about right field. That's the outfield assist position. You got center and right with your best arms. To throw him out there, you talk about the confidence that they have in him, but it's just his skill. Overall athleticism takes the cake here.
Just with this last thing, I remember at the beginning of the season, we were like, I guess the Padres are just going to say sign out as many great shortstops as we can and figure it out later. They had Manny. They brought in Bogarts. They had Tatis and
Kim
yeah, but I mean, like, he's not going to be their starter, for God's sake.
won a Gold Glove.
I know, but he's not going to be their starter, for God's sake. Out of those
It's bogey.
four.
It's
yeah.
bogey, yeah.
But and then Manny, all he knows is infield, so it's not like he's playing right field. So
Right.
yeah, Tatis, he was kind of like the odd man out on
Mhm.
that one.
And he got busted for steroids, so it's like, hey, pay your dues.
And so for the beginning of the year, us to be like, well, we'll see how it works, and then the dude there like, well, throw him out in right field.
Yeah.
He ends up being
See what
named the
happens.
best fielder in the National League. Pretty damn impressive. Good call.
Which is why it's just puzzling that the Padres suck
Bob
so
Melvin
bad.
might know a thing or two.
Yeah. Good luck, Phil Nevin down there.
Yeah, God, really?
All right, when we come back, we got a loaded second hour coming up. Don't go anywhere. This is the Hot Corner, 1080 The Fan.
It's time for Wilco's 3-day Blue Friday sale. Take $30 off Danner boots, 40% off select Carhartt hoodies, and 40% off pet beds. Stock up and save on Nature's bedding pellets, and discover deals on Willful Wear flannel, Traeger grills, Georgia Romeos, and more. And make the season bright with cut-to-fit lights, just 39 cents per foot. Shop and save early during Blue Friday, the 17th, 18th, and 19th, only at Wilco.
PG Long has been the Northwest flooring experts for more than 50 years, and now they are the preferred distributor of FIBO wall panels in Oregon, Washington, and Idaho. In remodeling and new construction, every minute counts. FIBO's full-height wall panels come in an array of colors and design, and the system easily clicks together for a seamless look that is 100% waterproof. Take your next job to the next level with FIBO and PG Long. PG Long is more than just floors. The partner you trust, the quality you expect. Online at pglongllc.com.
Paid actor portrayal.
I didn't see it coming. Life can be so unpredictable. After losing my dad, it made me think about my family if something were to happen to me. The mortgage, car payments, and all the other bills. Even things like our annual summer vacation would be out of reach. I had heard about life insurance through Ethos and how easy it was to get coverage. They were right. I knew it was time to stop putting it off and get life insurance right now. I got on my computer and went to ethoslife.com. In just 10 minutes, I was covered. And boom, family protected. Thanks to Ethos, my family won't have to worry about the bills if the unpredictable happens to me.
Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's GETETHOS.com.
Happy 62nd birthday, Granddad.
Thanks, sweetheart.
I got you this.
A mug. What does it say? Beware. If you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of serious consequences from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. RSV vaccines, including Pfizer's, are available. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
With Black Friday appliance savings all month long at the Home Depot, we're making the
text line at 503-864-6326. All texts to the fan are via the Vancouver Ford text line. Your dollar goes further at Vancouver Ford. That you should write before, during, after the sale. Living proof here. Visit VancouverFord.com. There are some things that have come across the text line that I'd like to share really quick. Ohtani won't be unanimous, and Garrett Cole is a bum. No way should he have been unanimous.
Well, I mean, he's not.
I root against Garrett Cole, but he's not a bum.
I was gonna say he's not a bum. He just won a really big award.
And Joe, we have to remember that I messed this up, but to make sure we're all on the right science track.
Biologically correct here.
White blood cells help us fight diseases. Red blood cells make us more superhuman.
Yeah, the oxygen is traveling in the
So
red
we
blood
need
cells.
red
that
blood
text
cells.
said at all.
We need red blood cells, not white blood cells.
It said that red
Except
blood
if you're Magic
cells
Johnson,
help,
you need white blood
That is
cells.
true.
They help carry-
Magic bought white blood cells.
I text line. By the way, it just cracks me up. Like,
And my dirty sandwich is gone, all right, Adam Jones? And I love that you're a P1 of the show, one of the best center fielders I ever watched.
but I just love the text line, like how angry this person was with you about not getting that blood cell thing right. Because they end the text with a "get it right."
I know, we do like to think that you...
I think you mean
that
red
you-
blood cells, gentlemen. White blood cells help you fight disease. Red blood cells carry oxygen. Get it right.
You bleeping losers!
You idiot.
Yeah, I always like to treat the Vancouver Ford text line
I love him.
like it is absolute answers. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. So I try not to view them as absolutes. But boy, when you read them, it's like, whoa, hey, sorry, man.
I got called fat
I-
on the stream the other day.
I-
Okay.
I-
Oh, Maron.
Really?
That's
They
un-
called you fat? Are they not looking at my camera?
No, dude,
Well,
they were like, "Ah, Schulte needs to lose weight." I'm
Sounds like
well,
classic
go
YouTube
screw.
to me. I mean,
Like, I
Diving into the comment
Throw-
section.
stop throwing facts at me as if they're insults. Okay, shut up.
99% of YouTube comments, I believe, are going to be of the negative variety.
What if
You are right.
What if Thor fought Palpatine? He would totally lose. Downvote.
No,
Is that what our YouTube
You're
stream?
wrong.
I don't know,
You
man.
would love if that's what our chat stream turned into.
Oh, I
my
would
God.
never be interested in that. Dude, Marvel's
Battlestar
weak, dude.
Galactica v Star Wars.
No, that's
Something.
weak too, dude. Those are completely different things. Battlestar Galactica is supreme.
Stop.
What?
Stop.
I mean, Star Wars movies are great, but
Baseball?
Battlestar Galactica is
Should
like
we-
the greatest
I-
TV show of all
I
time.
Should
just-
we? I mean,
I just started a convo
we-
with Dwight Schrute.
Should we break?
Oh yeah, you haven't seen much of this side of Patrick before.
What?
The
Off season?
the glasses.
the off-season Patrick?
Yeah.
The Power Rangers loving Battlestar Galactica enjoying Patrick Harris.
Ooh, I want to. Power Rangers was probably he was too old for that.
No, I'm Power Rangers.
I'm all about. Oh,
I'm Power
okay.
Rangers.
All
Yeah,
right,
I watched.
all
I
right.
watched.
Ditto. Go
Okay.
Kimberly.
My new thing these days is my wife loves to say, "Not my prob, not my job. I'm gonna go out to the warehouse and polish my," and I always get a nice giggle out of that.
That is funny.
Is that from a show or a
That's
movie?
from The Office.
Oh, I'm a
What
Parks-
rhymes?
I'm a Parks and Rec guy, but I can only. I'm guessing it. You know.
Yeah, polish my
Door.
door thing.
I gotcha, yeah.
We got a lot to get to
Baseball?
in this last hour. We'll have fair or foul coming up in about 15 minutes. Plus, we'll wrap this bad boy up. When we come back, I'd like to get into. There's this new report that came out about 4 hours ago, 3, 4, 5 hours ago.
News to me.
About Major League Baseball tinkering with a new rule that seemed to be successful. Are they going too far, or is this the right tinker?
Another organization that can't stay on the clock.
What?
Get it?
Major League Baseball?
Yeah.
Oh, I was wondering if you were talking about tinkering. I was thinking about going to the warehouse and polishing.
No.
We'll be right back. This is the Hot
No
Corner
laughs.
on 1080 The Fan.
Dear ski instructor,
An FYI to keep you off. So
My
your
goals-
holidays,
My goal is to make you love Garrett Cole.
it's not gonna happen. It's hard to convince me to love cis, rich, white males.
That's how I'm gonna ruin your Thanksgiving week and no show. Is just send you like Garrett Cole facts.
You're
from-
not gonna ruin
from his
my-
wiki. Cole has a passion for cooking.
Yeah, cool. Me too, bro.
He likes to throw down in the kitchen, bro.
Yeah, you're not gonna ruin my weekend of Thanksgiving because Wazoo's gonna beat UW and not make a bowl game.
Will they beat Colorado though?
No, we're gonna lose 35-10.
Come on.
Yeah, dude, it's
They're
just
not
how it
winning
goes.
out?
It's just how it goes. We got to win out to make a bowl game after starting 4-0. This is so sad.
All right, we're not doing this again.
We're not doing this again. Fair foul in 15 minutes. But I want to get to this. Major League Baseball is tossing around the idea of altering their pitch clock rules. Now, if you have lived under a rock and are listening to this show, welcome. I question what you're doing.
Yeah, it's been around for 8 years.
This is 8 years. Will be 9 in March.
I don't know whether to be mad or impressed by that.
And so Major League Baseball this year introduces the pitch clock. And I have been on the record many times of being the old man, get off my lawn, quit changing baseball. It actually turned out well. And I ate some crow on it. I'm very happily to have eaten some crow on it because attendance in ballparks are up. Viewership is up despite the World Series being down. Baseball seems to be on a trajectory of trying to join the modern sports landscape. It came out today, a bunch of people reported about 4 or 5 hours ago that Major League Baseball is interested in altering the pitch clock rules. And the rules they want to say is they want to shorten the pitch clock with runners on base.
Okay.
I would assume to prevent pickoff attempts.
Because it's 20 seconds right now, right?
Mhm. And shorten it to reduce pickoff attempts, which they've already done by saying you get 2 chances. And also, they've seen how stolen bases skyrocketed this year with the larger base and the pitch clock. That my question to you guys, if they shorten, in theory, it reduces those throws to first. It also will increase jumps and the unpredictability of stolen bases. Is this a good idea for baseball, or is baseball doing its classic thing where we found a good idea and we're going to tinker it until it's terrible?
Well, I believe I saw that it was going down to possibly 18 seconds, which whatever, it's 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
That's 2 seconds is
It's enough for a jump.
that was about 2 seconds right there.
It's enough for a jump.
So, yeah, in sports, every half second, millisecond does make the difference. I mean, are we going to realize it in real time? How many of these pitchers were already going through and getting through their emotions with dudes on base through 17, 18 seconds? I mean, I don't know.
Totally.
But I do hear that latter part of your point. It's just like, dude, you guys just implemented this and you're already like, no, let's change it.
Well, and I think that's the larger
Can
thing.
we maybe see this out? Like,
Yeah,
we're not happy.
Yeah, it's 1 year. Like, we're already kind of tinkering. And I think that's where my query really builds for this is it seems on the surface that adding the pitch clock, enlarging the bases, has created some more excitement to the game. My question is baseball teetering on an almost NFL platform? Because I would argue one of the biggest problems with the NFL right now is they come through with a new rule to fix a problem. And on the surface, they go, hey, this is a great idea. And then when games start, they see, oh, damn, there's actually a lot of flaws in this. So every year they're tinkering it and tinkering and tinkering to the point where even the diehards like you, Joe, you host a show every Sunday from 9 to 11.
Sometimes 8 to 10.
Sometimes 8 to 10. Thanks, Pete Carroll.
Go Hawks.
Go Obama. You host a show that is very football-centric. And there are times where I would argue that people in your position sometimes forget or can't remember the new tweak to the rule. And that's something that drives me absolutely bonkers about the NFL, which has actually turned me off from the NFL. Do you think this could be something of baseball going down the same road and could actually create more damage than progress?
Well, I do feel like when you were talking there and before you even brought up the NFL point was that it's like, yeah, we kind of do give these other leagues, especially NFL and football, a little bit more leeway on their rule changes, and they're like, yep, all right, well, okay, that makes sense. Like, we don't really trip about it as much as MLB, and they're like, what are they doing with baseball? Like,
I can't keep up with the NFL rule changes in the last 5 years. I mean, it's a big reason why I can't. It's hard for me to watch the game because all of a sudden I've become somebody who grew up watching the NFL and knows the game, that now I don't know the rules.
It's
how?
Okay.
How have I been watching the game for 30 years and I don't know the rules anymore?
It's not. Football's not that different, for God's sakes.
But it's just those little tweaks.
But I do feel like what the NFL and football does is that if they effed up on a rule, they fix it. I mean, now, do we need a bigger sample size? The first thing I come to is being able to review pass interference.
Right.
That happened for like a season, maybe two. I'm
Paging the New Orleans Saints.
Dude, and they were like, all right, we effed up, dumb rule, change it back. So, I mean, again, that is one example. Maybe I am overthinking it, but I feel like that is the case. Whereas like MLB, it's like they make a rule change and they're like, no, we're sticking to it because it's going to make the game better. And it's just like, how about just baseball be baseball? And if you like it, you like it. You'll watch it, whatever. But pitch clock has been a huge success because I feel
larger bases have been a success.
I feel like action in a shorter amount of time is what people want. Short attention span.
It's proven.
I want
NBA,
highlights.
NFL, that's what it is.
I want highlights. I want a lot of things to happen in a short amount of time. I think that's why soccer is gaining popularity because there's a lot of things happening, and I can digest that content without a lot of advertising. I can crank that out 2 hours.
It's the 30 seconds on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, whatever it is.
The way that we consume content has changed drastically. So the pitch clock move was one of the smarter rules, but do we need to speed it up? I guess we'll see if it matters.
Does this really... I'm trying to think of how this would affect the overall time of a game, or is this more important for Major League Baseball to try and like stop some of the stolen bases that were happening? I mean, so what they're trying to do is like take that 2 seconds away.
I think your point is like, what is the point?
Advantage?
Like, why is it?
I think the point is they saw that these fundamental rules increased the excitement, to Joe's point. The small window of our attention
so just
has
give
increased
us chances of it more.
I think they think if we decrease the pitch clock by 2 seconds, that will be even more stolen bases. And now Ronald Acuna Jr. has 100 instead of 70, and that creates more excitement. I think they think decreasing the pitch clock with a runner on will increase the stolen base as opposed to what you guys are kind of potentially implying that it will decrease. I don't think Major League Baseball wants to decrease anything that was a positive this year.
Well, and what it does is
they don't want to make games longer. They don't want stolen bases to be less. They don't want home runs to be less. I think they think of it as increasing stolen bases even more. It's like, hey, I made this pie and I've never made a pie before. It actually turned out pretty good. What if I try to make a pie again, but tweak my recipe?
Well, I think that what they see is like, this is a way to increase action, scoring in the game, and more things to happen without increasing the length of the game.
Because they already figured out how to decrease the length of the game.
Well, and also it's like base hits are going to increase the length of the game. You get
That's what I always thought. That's what I banged on the pitch clock about. I said it's going to increase hitting and increase scoring, and that's going to make the game longer. And I was wrong.
From first to second or second to third, and he scores, regardless if it was a hit like that, that to me doesn't fundamentally change the length of the game. That just changes the score. Frankly, like, if that dude was going to get a hit if he was on first, second, or third, he was going to get a hit.
That's true.
So he scored regardless. Like, then those outs will happen to me. The game is going to happen how it does. So in due time, if they change this to 2 seconds less, Scoring should go up, plain and simple.
I see what MLB is trying to do here, and the 2 seconds in Major League Baseball's minds, they're like, that's not that bad. But I kind of want to stick up for the players here a little bit, because they had to shift from entire lives, entire mindsets of, all right, I'm going to step in the box, I can take my time, to all of a sudden they now have to be ready in less than 20 seconds. We saw a lot of issues, and I personally feel like I don't think they were pushed along past their limit, but it was getting close at times, both for pitchers and hitters. 18 seconds, you're starting, I mean, it's like, all right, well, then let's take another second off. You're starting to get to the point where there's just no time. Why don't we just have a guy step in the box and you throw a pitch immediately? I mean, it kind of seems like if we're going to do this 18 instead of 20, that's where baseball wants to go. And if they're going to do that, then just do it. No warm-ups, no wind-ups, no anything. Just pitch, you swing, and then we go.
Everyone has to be Ken Griffey Jr.
Yes.
No stretching allowed.
Well, this is where I wonder
Pure talent only.
And if
God's gift.
If they make this move, then yeah, it's like, do they just keep increasing it? Only time will tell. But
I think that's just what I worry about. It's tinkering too much on something you still don't know the end result of.
But that, just give them benefit of the doubt. It's like maybe they are just doing this to give themselves to test it out, so that way they figure out what is the right time. If they do this now versus 5 years, or it's just they're trying to figure out what is the best amount of time, pace for this. So if they speed it up and then they're like, okay, these pitchers are getting lit, and
they'll back it
it's
down.
made the game longer.
But then I think that becomes the NFL, where I can't keep up
with the rule changes.
The rule changes, and I think it's different. I think it's tricky because you have to really research and understand the impact of it. In 1968, Bob Gibson has a season that, in my opinion, is probably the greatest season of a pitcher of all time. And that is why Bob Gibson is my favorite pitcher of all time. In 1968, go look at his stats. They're absolutely insane.
Well, he went to so many of his games.
In 1969, they lowered the mound. They changed the mound because of how dominant Bob Gibson was. And that turned out to be an amazing thing for Major League Baseball. I worry that sometimes in modern day, they're getting a little ahead of their skis. That's what scares me.
And as you said, nobody likes to...
nobody hates baseball more than Major League Baseball.
I was going to say something along with nobody likes to F with baseball more than baseball, which also is somewhat true.
No, I think it needs to be more extreme, more absolute, as I just talked about how I hate absolutism.
With the Sith.
With the Sith, yeah. Nobody hates baseball more than Major League Baseball. All right, speaking of people that love baseball, Fair or Foul's coming up next. Everybody's favorite segment. But before we get there, turn it over to Schultze with sports.
Now, from the Spirit Mountain Casino Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
This update is brought to you by Toro Mexican Kitchen. Transport yourself to Baja, Mexico with delicious regional dishes and cocktails. Book your table today at ToroPDX.com. First on The Fan, coming down earlier this evening, ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reporting that the NBA is suspending Warriors forward Draymond Green for 5 games after putting Timberwolves center Rudy Gobert into a chokehold during a brawl last night. And locally, after losing last night in Salt Lake City, the Blazers lost again. That is right. It just went final a couple of minutes ago. They were hosting the Cleveland Cavaliers, but Cleveland ends up handling them pretty easily, 109-95. And in baseball, Blake Snell winning the NL Cy Young today, while Yankees pitcher Garrett Cole unanimously winning the AL Cy Young Award. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schultze from the Spirit Mountain Casino Sports Desk. Watch and wager on pro and college football from across the country at Spirit Mountain Casino. Learn more at spiritmountain.com.
Tired of getting dinged by subscriptions? We won't send you a bill. Portland's sports leader, 1080 The Fan.
If you've been arrested for a DUI, call the Reynolds Defense Firm. This is McDaniel Reynolds with the Reynolds Defense Firm, and we specialize in just one thing. We represent good people facing DUI charges. If you've been arrested, the first thing you need is to find the right law firm to help you. The kind of law firm you can place your faith and trust into. A law firm that you can believe in, and one that will believe in you too. The Reynolds Defense Firm is exactly that kind of law firm for the clients we work with. We do fantastic legal work, and our team is second to none. While every case is unique and outcomes differ, What I can say is that our successes in the courtroom often border on amazing. And this isn't just a happy coincidence. Our attorneys have more than 35 years of experience in Oregon's DUI laws, and we understand the criminal justice system inside and out. When I say we do just one thing, I mean it, and this is why we are so effective. The Reynolds Defense Firm isn't right for everyone, but we are exactly the right firm to help good people who face DUI charges. Please keep our number in your telephone, and if someone you believe in has been arrested for a DUI, please call us right away. The Reynolds Defense Firm. We're solid. We're here if you need us, and we are very good at what we do.
When people have a craving to explore new and traditional Asian cuisines, they head to P.F. Chang's, where scratch-made dishes come from the 2,000-year-old tradition of wok cooking. P.F. Chang's wanted to explore new possibilities for their website. They turned to AmericanEagle.com. AmericanEagle.com re-architected P.F. Chang's website, integrating multiple third-party systems to create a unified digital experience. The results? Improved page speed and performance, personalized content based on users' location, intuitive online ordering, an increase in organic search visibility, and a 40% increase in new users. For scratch-made Asian cuisine, visit your local P.F. Chang's or go to pfchangs.com for website design, development, digital marketing, and hosting that produce efficiency, revenue, and results. Visit AmericanEagle.com. P.F. Chang's and AmericanEagle.com. Another example of the best businesses in the world, turning to the best in the business for websites. Go to AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW1. That's 877-WEB-NOW1.
Paid actor portrayal.
I didn't see it coming. Life can be so unpredictable. After losing my dad, it made me think about my family if something were to happen to me. The mortgage, car payments, and all the other bills. Even things like our annual summer vacation would be out of reach. I had heard about life insurance through Ethos and how easy it was to get coverage. They were right. I knew it was time to stop putting it off and get life insurance right now. I got on my computer and went to ethoslife.com. In just 10 minutes, I was covered. And boom, family protected. Thanks to Ethos, my family won't have to worry about the bills if the unpredictable happens to me.
Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's GETETHOS.com.
This is going to be kind of an odd question, but I'm going to ask it. Is your heater safe? See, your furnace requires routine maintenance to withstand its life. Keep it running like new, and most importantly, make sure it's safe to run in your home. Service Patriots not only wants to save you money every single month, but they want you and your family safe. Get a 27-point furnace tune-up for $59. That includes a free 1-inch high-efficiency filter, and we will check your AC for free. You and your family deserve to breathe clean, fresh air. If you haven't run your system in a while, it's gonna let you know by the smell in the air. Call Service Patriots today. Your $59 tune-up will restore your system back to factory fresh condition, and it will run more efficiently, saving you money in the long run. Don't wait. They want you safe. Call Service Patriots at 503-433-5153 or go to servicepatriots.com. Limited time offer. Restrictions may apply. Call for details. License number ARPRPH915LK.
This is the Hot Corner with Harrison Fisher on the Odyssey app and 1080 The Fan.
All right, this is Fair or Foul, everybody's favorite segment. We do it every single week at the bottom of the second hour. We'll be off next week. A little happy Thanksgiving, early holiday celebration for you all.
Dude, I'm going to have a little Thanksgiving 2-day trip over in Cannon Beach. I'm going to have a little seafood Thanksgiving and try and catch some dungees.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That'll be great.
I mean, I've never gone this late in the season, but... listen, everybody I tell that I'm going next week, they're like, dude, you'll limit out.
Super jealous. I should probably put it in order for you. The Oregon Ducks, they've got Arizona State this weekend.
Nope.
No?
As far as not.
Oh, the order.
Oregon, Arizona State, for sure.
Yeah.
The order, no, not happening.
And if you listen to the comments from the Arizona State head coach, I expect this to be a blowout, but coverage will be right here on the home of the Ducks. Without further ado, let's turn it over to our fantastic producer, Schultze, with Fair or Foul.
I got 2 Yankees questions in here tonight.
Oh, I love it.
I think you'll love both of them. We're going to start with a singular player on the Yankees because in the last couple of days, there's been some news on the wires about Giancarlo Stanton. You know what I'm talking about, Patrick.
See, that's what's great about Fair or Foul is those little things that I can't sneak in right now, but my
Giancarlo Lynch,
my
baby.
boy Schultze over here who wants to talk to me about Giancarlo Lynch, and I am down.
Absolutely. So if you have not heard, you've been living under a rock, some comments by New York Yankees general manager Brian Cashman addressing Giancarlo Stanton's history, and I believe, Joe, you have those comments. from
Yes,
Cashman.
right here.
They're just trying to slip it in there, and they're going to do him first. I feel like you don't even have to touch it, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
that sounds like Brian Cashman.
That's exactly what Brian Cashman said. No, essentially saying that Giancarlo Stanton is going to be injured this year. He expects it, and it seems to be part of his game.
So we got this player we spend $30 million a year on. He's going to suck, so
He's
just
cooked.
beware. It's not my fault. It's his fault.
Speaking of crab meat, every muscle in his body at this point is crab meat.
To be fair,
Butter,
since
garlic.
Giancarlo Stanton...
Down goes Anderson!
No kidding.
That was you.
Anderson!
Since he is was traded to the Yankees from the Marlins, 6 seasons overall, he has only played in half of the games that he should have appeared in or had been able
Dear
to appear
God.
in. There were 2019, 2020, obviously shortened because of the pandemic, but even that year, he only played in 23 out of the 60 possible games.
Yeah, of
in
course.
2019,
This is Giancarlo Stanton.
yeah, he only
Tracks.
played in 18 games. The best seasons were 2018 and 2021, where he had 158 and 139 games, respectively. His agent came out today setting up just, I would say, a crazy response.
Rich Paul?
No, a guy named Joel Wolf says, I read the entire context of the interview from Brian Cashman, and this is the quote I wanted to hit on, guys. I think it's a good reminder for all free agents considering signing in New York, both foreign and domestic, that the team that you play for, well, you gotta be made of Teflon, both mentally and physically, because you can never, ever let your guard down, even in the offseason, guys. So I ask you, fair or foul, Giancarlo Stanton's agent is a liar.
A massive foul. I think he hit it spot on. And I think his statement, foreign or domestic, he is also the agent for Yamamoto, who is the top pitching prospect coming
really?
over from the Japanese
He is,
league.
yes.
Wow.
He is the agent for him. He is basically saying to the world, my client has no interest in pitching for the New York Yankees. And sorry, my computer seems to be down. What do the New York Yankees need outside of Garrett Cole? Oh, some starting pitching. So guess what? Guess what, Cashman? Brian Cashman is starting to remind me of Dabo Sweeney, a guy that is clearly very talented at his job, a pedigree unlike no other, somebody who pulled somebody from the depths and brought them to the top, that now the game has passed them by. In no way, shape, or form would any GM, owner, and that includes George Steinbrenner, talk about a player the way Cashman talked about Giancarlo. Like, yeah, he's had injury issues, and you say, yeah, he's had injury issues in the past. We're doing everything we can. We expect him to be fully healthy coming into the next year and being a major contributor to the New York Yankees World Series run. That's what you say. That's what you say.
And this
when
is why
James Harden gets traded to the Clippers, you say, we are so excited to have James Harden here. We expect him to be an integral piece to our run for an NBA championship. And for you to say, yeah, we got James Harden, and, you know, if he's not a fat ass and if he can actually do something, then, you know, maybe we win some games, but who knows? Because we're going to sit Kawhi a bunch, and Paul George gets hurt all the time, so who knows what we're going to do? He's spot on. That agent, I want him to be my agent. Also, Yamamoto, not going to the Yanks, so deuces.
Well, I will agree foul, and I will also throw out the name Masahiro Tanaka. So as far as Yankees missing out on a Japanese pitcher, didn't work out for you the first time.
Tanaka was there and was great, and there was like, you know
I don't know if I would say great.
Well, he was good, but not only do I not want to pitch for you, I'm leaving the league. I'm out of here.
I also just want to know what Senate or House seat that their agent will be running for next year to use that foreign domestic
Brilliant.
line. I mean,
Absolutely
man.
brilliant.
I mean, hey, election season it's coming up next year, so
Might be better than most of the schlubs up there.
I-
You want to fight me? I'll fight you.
I mean, I got to disagree with you guys on this. Oh wow. Everybody on
See that
YouTube,
on YouTube.
get going watching because they're gonna throw fists. No,
I
I
peed
gotta
myself. You can't see it on YouTube.
quickly. I gotta disagree with you guys. I do think that I understand the foreign and domestic comment, and in relation to defending, one client, but preparing another, Yamamoto, for saying he doesn't want to sign. However, the defense of Giancarlo Stanton here is absolute ass. You can't defend him.
Cheeks, bro.
Of course, Giancarlo's going to be hurt. We all know that, but you can't say
you
it.
can't do that.
But then coming out as the agent and saying you have to be made of Teflon. No, you have to play 140 games a year. You don't have to be made of Teflon. You got to earn the $40 million that you're making. And for an agent to try to slip through the hoops and make it sound like it's something else, just eats at my curl. Sorry. Let's move on.
I back him.
Let's move on. Fair foul number 2. This is pretty simple, guys. We don't know what the Yankees are doing this offseason yet, but fair foul, the Yankees will win more games than they did in 24 than in 23. So 82, higher or lower, you think they're going to win more, yes or no, fair foul?
I'll start with this.
You took my blank stare.
Yeah,
It's like,
I know.
I'll take this one.
I'm like looking at Joe, some behind the scenes
It's
stuff.
a good
you
question.
You can see on youtube.com/1080am the fan. I choose neither. I choose push.
Oh my God.
I think this Yankee team is about the same as they are next year. They're going to take a run at Cody Bellinger, and they're probably going to offer him more money than anybody else is. And if I'm Cody, I stay away. I don't think the Yankee team is ready to compete next year, let alone in the next 3 years. I think outside of Garrett Cole and Aaron Judge, there's some kids, Volpe, there's some kids that could turn out, but they're not ready now. It's not like having Ellie De La Cruz show up and is ready to rumble. It's not Tatis or Acuna when they showed up ready to rumble. It's not Julio when he showed up ready to rumble. The Yankee team needs 2 or 3 years, and I think the free agents that they're going to want in potentially a Matt Chapman or a Cody Bellinger, they would be stupid to sign, and if they sign, it's strictly for money. So I think this Yankee team is going to be about the same as they were last year. Garrett Cole might win a Cy Young, and Aaron Judge might hit 60 home runs, and they're going to win 85 games. I will push this fair or foul.
I'm going foul. I think that this team won't be able to do anything in the offseason. As you just mentioned, the game has passed them by.
I think so.
And I think that what made them successful over the last however many decades is not how you can be a successful team nowadays. And
We've seen it. Houston, Baltimore, Tampa, Kansas City. Like, there's so many teams that are proven. I mean, let's not forget
the
the
teams
Dodgers
that spend a lot.
The Dodgers spend a ton, but they have a great farm system.
Yes, the Red Sox. They won in
Mariners spend
2018.
nothing. The
They won in
Mariners spend
2018, but they
nothing,
still
but they
had
have a farm
great
system.
guys in their farm system, dude. It's just like, and the Yankees, they don't have a great farm system. And why do you think that front office and that leadership is going to just turn it around miraculously?
Yeah, I don't think the old man Cashman and I don't think the Steinbrenners are in touch. I think they rest on their laurels. And in baseball, in these days, it just doesn't work anymore. Paging Bill Belichick.
I guess I should have worded it better, but technically a push is foul because they will not, in your opinion, win more games.
But they won't win less.
But I said fair or foul, they
All
will
right,
win
foul.
more games.
I'll
But
take
it doesn't matter. It's just the whole point is neither of you think they're going to be better, which I love. Ditto. So, all
Joe,
right.
did you turn on the freezer setting in here?
Oh, I bumped it down a few degrees. It feels fantastic.
And now it's 30 degrees colder in here.
Love it.
It's getting cold out, and we only have time for one more because it's getting really cold outside. We got to go soon. Fair or foul, T-Mobile Park will be empty next year if Jerry Dipoto does not acquire 2, not 1, 2 big bats this offseason.
I'm just envisioning a boycott like of that, like
just
that
so
drastic.
mad.
Like
A's fans still showed up and they're going to Vegas.
You say 2 bats?
Two bats.
They need 2 big, and I'm not talking Justin Turner. I'm talking the level of Cody Bellinger and Juan Soto, or Shohei and Juan Soto. They need 2 of those guys.
I mean, those are the only bats that are out there. Me and Patrick during the break a few minutes ago, we were going through
it. Ain't pretty. It's not looking good for the off-season hot corner.
It's slim pickings, and I know last week or the week before I said that like the Mariners are going to get rid of Teoscar.
The third best second baseman was Tony
re-sign him.
Kemp.
Dude, when I relook at that list of available batting players, I'm like, yeah, Mariners might have to reconsider bringing Teoscar back because there ain't jack. Unless they go after Bellinger and give a real offer, but fingers crossed on that.
The best right fielder on the market is Teoscar Hernandez. We're in trouble here, folks.
Which is why they should have given him a qualifying offer.
I'm going foul just because I feel like it's there's not a lot out there, and so you'd have to bank on not just one of the all-time or big players out there, but 2. I can't.
Yeah,
I can't see it.
Schultze, I know where you're going with this. I'm going to stick with Joe, and I'm going to say foul, but I'm going to back you on why you asked this question. I'm going to back you on why you asked this question because with the news of Shohei potentially taking a shorter deal, which we'll talk about in 2 weeks when we come back, the chances of that, I think, drastically increase the chances for Seattle taking a real shot at Shohei.
Really? Okay.
Blake Snell talking about how he would love to pitch in Seattle increases your chances of trading a Logan Gilbert, a George Kirby to San Diego for Juan Soto. I think the Mariners should take a real solid look at Cody Bellinger. You could use a utility guy in the outfield, and he's a massive upgrade from Ty France at first, even if he regresses, which we all assume he will. We all assume Cody Bellinger is going to regress, right?
He has to.
Right? We all assume he's going to regress next year.
Well, did he regress going to the Cubs? No.
No, but he shot up, so it can't. We don't know. So, right?
Dude's an
unknown.
MVP.
Right. Dude's an MVP candidate, without a doubt. Agreed.
He won an MVP.
So I think. So I say foul, Jordan. I think you're off, but I completely understand your speaking. The Mariners right now are in contention for the 3 best prizes out there right now in Blake Snell, Shohei Ohtani, and Cody Bellinger. And if they land them, good for them. If they don't, it's not going to be for not trying. So I follow you. However, the Mariners, if the Mariners trot out what they trotted out this year, they still got a chance to win the division.
Yeah, it's not good enough though.
But they
And
still, I know, but they
especially Cal Raleigh's
I know.
sentiments at the end of the year.
But to your statement of nobody's going to show up, that's just not true. If the Mariners trot out what they trotted out this year, they're going to win 80 games minimum.
But people aren't going to,
But people aren't going to be happy, and I totally agree. I totally agree.
It's just that I don't even
showing up.
I totally
that's for
agree.
Sure.
I totally agree. I'm not trying to put a sugarcoat cherry on this.
No, I hear it. I'd straight up don't even believe they'd win 80 games if they had the same lineup, even with
I
Teo.
disagree. I disagree. They have the best starting staff in all of baseball.
Yeah, but they were a bat short all year.
And Robbie Ray didn't show up at all.
You're not wrong. I hear that. Their
That's all.
pitching saved them.
Let's
All right,
just
all right. We're good. Go Mariners.
Let's just
F the Yankees. That's fair foul.
I got nothing to roll with.
Nothing to smoke with.
All right, can we break?
I like to smoke all day long.
We got to pay some bills.
All right, when we come back, we'll wrap this bad boy at the hot corner. Today, the fan.
The holidays are always hectic, but with the BMW i5 and iX, you can make them 100% electric. Make every journey a thrill with the cutting-edge driver technology in the BMW iX, or step into the first ever BMW i5 with its dynamic performance and iconic presence. Find your ultimate 100% electric BMW at the Electric BMW Road Home Sales Event and turn the holidays from hectic to electric. BMW, the ultimate electric driving machine.
See a Portland area BMW center today for exceptional offers or visit pdxbmw.com.
Save thousands. Be advised, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to save thousands on a hot tub and swim spa. Friday through Sunday, Portland Expo Center. Save thousands. Be advised, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to save thousands.